Hi, a lot of kids in fourth grade are struggling with rounding to various place values. So we created this game called Rounding Race. Um, I think the reason they're having this trouble is because the jump between third grade and what they were expected to round to and fourth grade and what they're expected to round to was a pretty big jump. And when Origo updated their curriculum, third grade has now gotten more rigorous, which is good, except for the fact that these kids missed out on that a little bit. So they need a little more practice. So the way you play this game is you flip over 6 cards. If you flip over a 10 or a face card, I say just redraw. So let's say that you flip over cards and you flip over 6, 2, a 5, a 7, an 8, and an ace. Ace is going to be 1. You've created the number 625,781. So your child would fill out this form, and if they get it right, if they get all of them right, they score 100,000 points on that round. If they only get some of them right, please help them and inform them on how to round to the different patterns or to the different place values, and they get 10,000 for each correct answer. After they've done it a couple of times, see if they notice the patterns about what the numbers look like when you've rounded to the different place values. So if we take a look at this first number, and we're trying to round to the tens place, I have here a friend who's going to help me. He's rounded, and he said if you round this number to the tens place, the number looks like
625,780.
625,780. And as the adult, I would look at that and I would say, yes, that's how I would round the number to the tens place as well. So they get it correct. I would say, check, it's correct. Next one, he rounded it to the hundreds place, and he said the number is
625,800.
625,800. That is correct. Check. Hopefully the child's starting to notice that, after the hundreds place, there's zeros. And when we're rounding to the tens place, after the 10, there's zeros. And I noticed numbers to the left aren't changing. Interesting. Rounding to the thousands place, the number is
626,000.
626,000. Yep, that's also correct. We would round up, of course, because our number next door, which tells us how to round this, is greater than 5, which means we need to round up. Another question I ask kids very frequently is if we're rounding to the thousands place, which thousand is it closer to? Is this number closer to 625,000, or is it closer to 626,000? Well, hopefully they know 781 is going to be closer to needing it to add on another 1,000 or go up to the next 1,000. Then we have the 10,000s place. The answer is
630,000.
630,000. Interesting, that pattern of zeros is still working, where if you're rounding to the 10,000s place, all of the numbers after the 10,000s place have turned into zeros. And the last one, rounded to the 100,000s,
is 600,000.
Math that we're doing in class is requiring them to round to different place values so that they can create strong estimates when they're adding multi-digit numbers. The kids can add proficiently for the most part. What they're struggling with is the estimation part. So in class, we also had a conversation about which estimate is fastest for us to work with in our head and which estimate is most accurate. So while this one is going to get us the closest, this one's going to get us the closest, it's not necessarily really easy to work with in our head. So I call this rounding to the leading digit. Whatever the place value of the leading digit is, that's kind of how we're working on rounding right now, which means they need to be able to round all the way up to the leading digit place value, and we go up to 6-digit numbers in fourth grade. So my friend here who's helping me, he earned 100,000 points. Excellent job, sir.
Thank you.
And then we would draw 6 cards and try it again. I generally try and avoid tricks like this and teaching tricks like this to kids, except for the fact that rounding seems to be such a struggle for some of these kids that I think if they did have a strategy that worked consistently and then they could check it for sensibility, I'm going to teach them, or I have informed some of them of this little trick. So the rap goes, find your number, look next door, 5 or greater, add 1 more. Numbers to the left stay the same. Numbers to the right, 0 is your name. So let's take a look at how that works. If you had the number 625,781 and you wanted to round it to the, let's go with the 10,000s place for, a close estimate. I would find the number in the 10,000s place. Well, that's a 2. So I have found the 2, and then I'm going to look next door. If it's 5 or greater, I'm going to add 1 more to that place value. So right away, I know my 10,000s place is going to be a 3. I'm going to need to round it up because the number next door is greater than 5. Numbers to the left stay the same. So I know my number is going to start 6-3. Numbers to the right, 0 is your name. Now I'm going to check for sensibility and make sure what I just wrote makes sense. So let's see. I was rounding to the 10,000 place. That means that I have to figure out if this is closer to 62,000, 62 10,000s, or if this number is closer to 63 10,000s. Well, 5,000 would be right in the middle. Oh, but it's 5,781, which is going to push it to the right. It's on the number line. It's going to push it closer to 630,000. So my answer to this question would be 630,000 if I rounded it to the nearest 10,000. I hope that helps a little bit.